My name is Patricia Gilbert. I am the NATCA's Executive Vice President since 2009. I am very honored to serve in that capacity for the 20,000 members that we represent in many professions, not just in the federal government, in the contract tower world, not just air traffic controllers, but engineers, architects, many other aviation safety professionals in the FAA. I was hired 30 years ago this month. I was a controller at Houston Center for the entirety of my career in the same area. I ran my first election for area rep and lost. I didn't give up. I was already very, very committed to this union. So what I did the next time around is I ran for facility rep for Houston Center, and I won that election. I did that for 3 terms, 6 years as facility rep at Houston Center. I loved the legislative arena. I learned that while I was facility rep, and so once I didn't seek a 4th term as FAC rep at Houston Center, I became very involved in the legislative committee, served as the Southwest Region Chair, and then the National Chair for 5 years before getting elected to this position. In addition to that, I did many other appointed positions. I did trial committee work. I went to all of the classes that you would expect your executive vice president to go to. I taught classes. I was the chair of the organizing committee. I have served as the president of the NATCA Charitable Foundation, continue to serve as a director on the NATCA Charitable Foundation. As your executive vice president, I want to talk a little bit about what that role entails, because I think there is maybe a misnomer on what the day-to-day work looks like for executive vice president. The executive vice president is responsible for the documents of the union, the governing documents, the minutes, and the finances. They work very closely with the finance committee, which Dave has said he has served on 2 finance committees. He has, and I work very closely with them. So if there were issues with the finances and transparency, he certainly never brought it up to me as he sat on that finance committee before he was replaced by his RVP, because constitutionally we are required to audit every local every 3 years, and we weren't keeping up with that in some regions. So that did take place. So now we have a finance committee that's keeping up with our constitutional requirements and auditing our locals every 3 years like they're constitutionally supposed to do. We do have NATCA employees, 50 of them. Some of them are very, very talented. Unfortunately, a couple of them we've had to let go over the course of the last 9 years because you pay dues. We expect them to come to work, and once in a while we have an employee that we unfortunately have to let go. But for the most part, many of them are very, very committed to you, to this union, to the national airspace system. We work closely with them. We collaborate with them. We have a forum that I meet with them, their union, and they have a union that represents them every single month. We negotiate contracts with them. We negotiate pay raises with them. We usually put an RVP, well, we always put an RVP on our negotiating team. We have many RVPs that do collateral duties outside of their regions for this union, because we believe the entirety of the executive board should be involved in the work of their union, whether it's safety technology work, whether they're on the national validation team, they work on our training committee, they work on our NEST process, they work on OSHA work, they work on drug and alcohol, subject matter experts on that. All of these things our RVPs are involved in. So it is not just a couple people, it is not just Paul and I. There is an army of people very, very involved in this union, not just our 50 staff. We couldn't do what we do without our volunteer army, which is our activists. This week alone, we had our legislative activists up and working, making the phone calls, sending the emails to ensure that this bad piece of legislation wasn't going to get any momentum. Well, this bad proposal to become legislation wasn't going to get any momentum on the Hill. And they did phenomenal work trying to kill anything that might show up on the defense bill, which was moving this week. NATCA in Washington, as you know, is coming up in 2 weeks. That same legislative army is keyed up to get those 400 to 500 activists in the city so we can deal with the proposals coming out of the administration and OPM like we've done for the last 2 years. So there are so many people involved in this union. I just find it a little disingenuous, to say the least, that there would be any kind of accusation that a couple of people are making all of the decisions. That couldn't be further from the truth. And if any of you are involved, and many of you are, you know that is not the reality. If you come to Washington, D.C. and walk through our office, you will see committee after committee after committee working with our staff, accomplishing the many things that we provide to the NATCA membership. So with that, my time is up, and I hope that I can count on your vote. I am willing to serve another 3 years very, very passionately, just like I have since I was elected PAC rep at Houston Center back in 1994. Thanks. And I just want to be clear, I'm not opposed to an election. I'm fine with somebody running against me. I do get a little concerned when we have a workforce and a membership that, for my 30 years, first as an organizer, convincing them to be a part of this union, and then as a legislative activist, convincing them why it was important to be a PAC member and contribute almost until it hurts. Because it's that important. So when there's this kind of rhetoric introduced from the highest levels of your union, with a new generation coming in, they don't question what role they'll play in their union. I'm concerned that they'll start to question, why are they part of this union? And I don't want to go there, because this union is great. This membership is great. We have so many things to be so proud of. I wish this was just a silly season NATCA election. But what we have is 2 RVPs that got angry over some reason, I don't know to this day what, and now are bringing things forward after 12 years being on the board about processes they actually could have put in place if they were that important to them at the time they were on the board. So with that, I would ask for your vote as Executive Vice President. We have the remaining RVPs are supporting us and are wholeheartedly supporting us. We have the RVP-elects, the 4 that didn't run against anybody in their elections, supporting us. Go to our website, rinaldegilbert.com. You'll see the many FAC reps supporting us, and you'll see a lot of other activists supporting us. And we are very proud of that support, and we feel very comfortable that this union has got a bright future, because a lot of our activists are the new generation that are grabbing that torch, and they're going to take us to higher levels. And we just want to be a part of that for the next 3 years to ensure that the work that we've done for the last 30 does not go backwards, that we only go forward. So thank you for your time. I know this was kind of maybe a little uncomfortable, certainly was for us as well. But I love this union, I love this profession, and I still have the energy that I had when I first was elected in my 20s to continue to serve with you and for you into my early 50s. So thanks for that.